Hey, what's up you guys, it's Claire and I'm back for a new video. And for today's video I wanted to talk about something that happened in Hawaii. I don't know how to perfectly describe this, but I guess you can call it like a traumatic event that happened in Hawaii. So this video is gonna be basically a storytelling type of video. I've never done one before, so forgive me if I sound too boring or whatever, but I'm gonna try my best to not confuse y'all because I'm not the best at storytelling. Anyway, so on January 13th of this year, there has been notifications or warnings been going out to certain phones, and on the radio there was alert that there was a ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii, and it also said seek immediate shelter, this is not a drill. And I'll post my screenshot on the screen just so you can see that it's true. So I got this notification like in the morning and I was at work. It was crazy. It was like a crazy morning. It was like a crazy day as well. So I was at work and it was around 8 o'clock a.m. and I was opening the store at that time, and so I don't have time to look at my phone and like because I'm trying to rush and stuff, but I had my phone in my pocket and I could feel it like vibrating, and it kept vibrating and vibrating. And the first time I looked at it, it was a missed call from my boyfriend, and I thought he just butt dialed me because it was too early in the morning. He's usually asleep, and like he usually butt dials me a lot. So yeah, I thought that was the case. But then a few minutes later, I still felt it vibrating, and then it wouldn't stop. So I looked at it, and I saw another missed call from my boyfriend, and underneath it was that emergency alert notification that there is a ballistic missile threat to Hawaii. And I was like reading it. I was literally stuttering when I was reading it to my coworker because it was just two of us at the store, and she was like, "What?" So I read it again and then I showed it to her that there was a missile threat to Hawaii, and then we were both like in shock. Like we didn't want to believe it because we were both like laughing and like I don't know, we were both like speechless and just in shock generally. Here's the first thing that threw me off that this was kind of not really happening is that my coworker, she has an iPhone as well, and usually with the iPhone they send emergency alerts if there's like a flash flood or any type of warning in Hawaii, and she didn't get it. She didn't get it at all. Only I got it, and I guess my boyfriend got it too because that's why he was calling me, but she didn't get it at all. I forgot what her carrier is, but mine is Verizon, and I've been hearing all over the place that other people didn't receive it as well, so that's kind of weird. It threw me off a lot. So after, you know, both of us getting in shock and being speechless, we get a phone call from our bosses and saying that to stay put and just stay in subway until we figure out what we should do next. And it was so obvious that we should just like close the store and just go home, or like just stay in the store and just close it. But the thing is, they asked us to just stay put and wait for further instruction, which was another thing that threw me off, because wouldn't you just tell your workers that are at the store that you should just stay indoors and keep safe and like, you know, stay on the ground or something? Like, it's like they knew that it wasn't real because they probably have like family members in the military or whatever, because usually they're the first to know, right? And they know what to do when this type of thing happens. So that was another thing that threw me off. But at the same time, it felt so real because when we finally opened the store, nobody was coming in, and like where I work is like a big shopping center, and there was barely anybody in the parking lot, and only like a few cars driving by, but they look so calm, like they weren't in a rush or anything. So that was another thing that threw me off, because maybe they didn't get the notification, or I don't know, maybe they thought the same thing, like this can't be real. So yeah, during that time where me and my coworker were in shock, we didn't know what to do. Like I was speechless. Like you would think that right when you get that alert or notification, it would happen like 10 or 15 minutes, like, or maybe within an hour, the missile would have already like happened or whatever, but it didn't. So like we were just like in shock. We didn't know what to do. Should we still do whatever to open the store? And I don't know, like my coworker was like kind of in a low-key panic, where she was like, oh, don't you, do you want to die by my side? I think I want to go home, blah blah blah. And then I was like super speechless, and I was like, yes, I want to die by your side, because like I don't know, at least I'll die by somebody. I don't know. And she also looked like she was gonna low-key cry, but like I guess because I was in shock, and usually when I'm in shock I like try to laugh it off, so I was like smiling and all, and I think that's what kind of helped her not panic so much. So yeah, like if it was real, like I don't know, like I was just in shock, and I couldn't believe that it was real. And like usually when people are gonna go through something like that, they like think about their family they're not with, or their boyfriend, or their loved ones. I'm sorry, I have to stop, it's so cold. Oh my gosh, I was getting so cold just talking. I was just getting so cold that I had to get into a sweater. Anyways, as I was saying, so I was in shock, and like I didn't know what to do, and like I was just, my mind was so like blank, I guess. And I heard people like they were so worried about their friends and family that they're not with, even people that used to live in Hawaii but are now in a different country or state. They were like so worried of the people in Hawaii. And for me, of course I was worried. Like right after I got that alert, I texted my parents, because I knew they were gonna go out that day, and they probably didn't know about this missile threat. Sorry, I don't know why I'm losing my breath, but yeah, so I texted them and I told them, don't go out, just stay in the house because there's a missile threat. And yeah, so I don't know, they didn't text me back right away. Like I guess they were in shock as well, I don't know, but they probably didn't think it was real either, because they weren't really freaking out, and they didn't call me back after I texted them that. And I also heard that other people were like really, you know, crying and having anxiety attacks and stuff like that. And for me, I was just like in shock. Like I was smiling but speechless, and my mind was blank. That's how I reacted or responded to that to that alert or notification. And then I would say like about 30 or 40 minutes after that first notification, I get a call from my boss that everything's fine, it was just a false alarm. I know, like what the what the actual. So after all of that process, going through that process of emotions, or a roller coaster of emotions, it was actually a false alarm. And after my boss called me about that, I get a notification that it was a false alarm. And I don't know if I saved the text message. I probably will post it on the screen. But basically it was saying like Hawaii is not in danger, and it was just a false alarm. And I think that's the text message, or that's the notification that my coworker actually received, but it was like a few moments after I got it. And it was kind of annoying for both of us, because that is something that is not right for certain people to get that notification, and for other people to get it is like very, very worrying for everybody in Hawaii. Like everything that happened on January 13th was just so wrong. Number one, not everybody got the warning. Number two, the fact that the text itself said there was a missile threat, and it said that it wasn't a drill. But then 30 minutes after that first text, that's when they realized it was a mistake. By the way, I didn't say that. By the way, I should have said this in the beginning. Like I said, I'm not a good storyteller. It was a mistake. Someone accidentally pressed a button, and the government of Hawaii, they're keeping some stuff, to themselves. They're not telling us the full story, but basically, someone from emergency management agents, someone from the emergency management agency, is that how you say it? Whatever, accidentally pressed the button and didn't notice it until like after half an hour, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know how it is in that room full of buttons, but for me, imagining in my head, I feel like it's like that movie from Monster vs. Aliens, where the coffee button and the that dangerous button is like right next to each other, and they look very similar. I feel like that's what happened. Like he or she was making coffee and she pressed the wrong button. But anyway, I don't want to laugh because I don't want anybody to think that I find this funny. Anyway, yeah, so like people and residents of Hawaii are very upset of what happened, because not a lot of people can handle this type of situation very well, especially when we're not fully prepared for it. I mean, I know that not in all cases everybody is fully prepared, but for those who are like not in the military, or like just regular people that don't have anywhere to run and don't get a heads up right away, I feel so bad. Like, I am one of those people in my family. Like, we don't have anybody in the military in our family, so like we don't get a heads up like that real quick. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that, like, because we have so much missile threats and people who want to start a war with the USA, I feel like there should be some type of preparation. I know there was probably a video they show in school, like what to do during missile threats or whatever, I don't know. But like, I feel like for those who haven't gone through that, I feel like we should have that type of program, or whatever it's called. So on Facebook, I also watched a video, or a live video, of like the heads of EMA, and they said that you know, they're gonna go through a proper training or drill to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So basically he's saying that he's not gonna fire that person who pressed the button on accident, or that's what I think, that's what I think they meant. But like I don't know what I think about that. Like, of course he or she probably felt super bad for doing that to the place where he lives on, but like, and everybody makes mistakes, but like on a level that high, it's pretty bad. And like everybody in Hawaii is probably very upset at that person. I don't know what my thoughts is. I probably feel bad for him too if he was like fired just because of that. Another thing that threw me off when I first got that text was like there were no sirens. Like usually when there's like a real natural calamity or disaster, there's usually like sirens going off and stuff like that. Like we had the radio on in the store, and like the warning, or that guy that talks during like a warning thing, I thought that it would usually just play that over and over again, but it played that warning and then it went back to like the songs that were playing on the radio, which was weird. Like you would think it would just go over and over during a disaster like that. Anyways, if I missed out anything, you guys can probably find out about it on the news or on the internet. Yeah, so to those of you guys watching me that also live in Hawaii, let me know your guys' opinions or comments or anything you just want to talk about during that, you know, event. And for those of you guys who don't live in Hawaii, let me know what you guys think about what happened. Yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye.